Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your Raw post show for Monday, May 31st. Tonight on the show, Drew beats Kofi, Reginald beats Shayna, and Elias walks out on Jackson Riker. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in tonight, checking us out here on the Ringside Report Network. Thank you for liking the video, subscribing to the channel, becoming a member. I am perplexed after watching Raw tonight. I don't really understand. They're doing Drew versus Bobby again at Hell in a Cell for the WWE title. It better be inside a cell or something, right? It's got to be inside something. What? I don't understand. So the main event tonight, we're going to start with the main event because I'm just kind of confused. Drew versus Bobby wrestled at WrestleMania. Then at WrestleMania Backlash, the next pay-per-view, it was Drew versus Bobby versus Braun in a triple threat. Braun has disappeared since that match. Right? Haven't seen him since. I don't know where he's at. And now they're going to do Drew versus Bobby again. The main event tonight was Kofi Kingston versus Drew McIntyre. It was a hell of a match of the night. I thought we had some good wrestling matches tonight. Humberto and Sheamus was really good. But this one I think was the best match of the night. Clean finish, nice finish. Kofi coming off the top rope, looking to hit, I don't know, double axe handle. Didn't look like he was looking to hit anything other than get hit by Drew's Claymore there. Kind of one of those, like, I'm going to jump off the top rope and you're going to hit me with something. Usually when a guy jumps off the top rope, he looks like he's trying to do a move. Kofi just kind of had his hands in the air like double axe handle, kind of. When does Kofi ever hit a double axe handle? You know what I mean? Anyways, Drew hits a Claymore on Kofi. 1, 2, 3. Drew wins. And I was like, wait a second. That's it? Drew wins? Drew wins? Winner of the match faces Bobby for the title at Hell in a Cell. And Drew wins? I don't understand. I don't understand Drew McIntyre winning. The Canadians winning tonight makes way more sense than Drew McIntyre winning. And even that was kind of crazy, right? They weren't supposed to win. They were down 3-1 in the series, and they won tonight. Congratulations to all the Habs fans I know watching the show tonight. I know a lot of you didn't watch Raw tonight. You were watching the hockey game. I understand that. Doug Hepburn, member of the team. Angelo, member as well. Patrick out in Regina. He's getting ready because his Winnipeg Jets are waiting for the Canadians in the next round of the playoffs, right? So it'll be the Canadians against the Jets, so good for you guys. Happy you guys won. Sorry to Antoinette out in Toronto. Our good friend Antoinette. I know she's probably bummed out seeing the Maple Leafs lose tonight. Anyways, that happened tonight. But Drew versus Bobby again. No one really wants to see this. The reaction on Twitter has been pretty negative. No one is really interested in seeing Drew versus Bobby again at Hell in a Cell. Certainly not selling the show. Pardon the pun there. But it better be inside the cell structure, right? Otherwise, what's the point? They got to add a gimmick to this. I figure they will. They haven't announced any Hell in a Cell matches for this pay-per-view, so you figure Drew versus Bobby will be inside the Hell in a Cell. I hope. Strange move by the WWE tonight. Just strange booking that kind of makes you go, come on. It's not even good. It's like, oh, man, I didn't want to see Drew versus Bobby again. I wanted to see Kofi in the mix. I was rooting for Kofi. This was a cool match, you know? I liked the match. I liked the main event. I liked the concept. I didn't know who was going to win. The match was good. Something on the line. Winner gets a WWE title shot. All the elements of good pro wrestling were there. But then the finish, you have Drew just winning. And the result of that, like Drew winning, okay, fine. I get it. But the end result is him wrestling Bobby again in Hell in a Cell, which I don't really get. I don't think that's a really hot match that you need to keep doing, but I guess, 3 pay-per-views. Doing the Drew versus Bobby thing. Maybe this will be the last one, and then Bobby moves on to somebody else. I don't know. I hope they've got something else that's good at Hell in a Cell, because this isn't great. I want to see Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. That'll be at Hell in a Cell. That'll be all right for the Raw Women's title. I'm curious to see if Charlotte's going to take it or Rhea hangs on. What's the WWE going to do there? Charlotte and Rhea had a weird segment tonight that we could talk about. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Bob Berger says he saw a highlight of fans celebrating in front of the Bell Center tonight, and it looked like Johnny North and AJ partying. I don't think it was Johnny North and AJ partying. I don't think Johnny North is. I think he's at home tonight. I don't think he went out for the game. Maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Could have been them. I hope everybody takes it easy tonight. I know when the Canadians win a big game, people tend to go a little bananas in Montreal. I hope everybody takes it easy. I know everybody watching right now is taking it real easy. So we got Drew versus Bobby again at Hell in a Cell. I expect Bobby to win. I don't really care to see the match. Who cares? It's not good. It's not good. And it kind of puts a damper on the match too, right? Because the match was good, the concept, everything, like I was into it. But then at the finish, you're like, And, I mean, what did I expect? I expected Kofi to win somehow. Because Kofi's more interesting, I think, than Drew and Bobby. I'm more fascinated with whatever Kofi does. His matches are consistently good. His promos are consistently good. I like Kofi. But I expected somehow he wins, or they do some sort of screwy finish where there's no winner and you do a triple threat again, except it's Kofi this time into it. Because at least that way you spice up the match. Bobby may walk away still champion, but at least Kofi's in the match and it's more interesting. But you're giving me the same match you gave me at WrestleMania, and it wasn't that good at WrestleMania. So it's just not something I want to see. And again, I don't think Bobby's going to lose here. He hasn't been champion for long. Don't see the point at all. Disappointing. Disappointing finish to Raw tonight. Angelo, yeah. Angelo says, why Lashley McIntyre again? I have no idea. Hell in a Cell is June 20th, by the way. Coming up, we got what? 2 more weeks of Raw and, 3 more weeks of SmackDown because SmackDown hasn't happened, but 2 more weeks of Raw before Hell in a Cell. Not much going on at Hell in a Cell. We got the WWE title match official. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title is official as well. That started off the show, a Charlotte-Rhea deal. Miz and Morrison were in the ring first. Morrison was wearing like a garlic necklace. And I think he thought Rhea Ripley was a vampire, or he was trying to ward off the zombies that were coming after him. Remember they had the zombie lumberjack match there, WrestleMania Backlash, that was absolutely terrible. They didn't mention zombies. Miz talked about the match, said he got hurt or injured or whatever during the match, and he's been gone for 2 weeks. I hadn't noticed he'd been gone. I was kind of disappointed he was on the show because it was just a boring promo for Miz. Morrison was wearing the same off-white Jordan 1s that the Young Bucks were wearing last night in their match at Double or Nothing, which I thought was kind of weird. The exact same shoes that the Bucks were wearing last night, Morrison was wearing tonight. Morrison also had something called a drip stick, which I think he probably needs to get checked out by a doctor. But then it turns out it was just like a thing he shot water out of. I'm not really sure what that gimmick is. Charlotte Flair was the guest on Miz TV, and then Rhea Ripley came out, and they got in each other's face, and then Nikki Cross showed up and was like, because last week, Rhea Ripley had a beat-the-clock match with Nikki Cross, where if Nikki didn't lose in 2 minutes, she won the match for some reason, and that happened. So then this week, Charlotte was making fun of Rhea for not even being able to beat Nikki Cross in 2 minutes, and Nikki Cross sucks. And then Nikki Cross comes out, and she slaps Charlotte. And she's like, I bet you can't beat me in 2 minutes either. And then Nikki Cross proceeds to, like, run around the ring once the match has started to, like, stall for time. Because she's actively trying to just avoid Charlotte. Because she realizes she sucks, and the only way that she can win is avoid the fight for 2 minutes, and then she gets, like, a moral victory? I don't know. She's not getting a title shot. I don't really see the point of it for Nikki Cross, but she is celebrating like she has won a title shot or a title. Or everything. It's really weird. It's strange. And Nikki Cross did the thing with Charlotte Flair, and she won, I guess. But, I mean, nobody won. She didn't pin Charlotte. She didn't make Charlotte tap out. And that was the Charlotte-Rhea Ripley segment tonight. So last week they did this thing with Nikki Cross and Rhea, and this week they do it with Charlotte and Nikki Cross, and it's just... it's not great. Randy Orton beat Xavier Woods, pinned him after hitting Riddle's finisher, the Bro Derek. Riddle was super pumped. He was ringside there for Randy. Kofi was not ringside for Woods. Kind of felt bad for Woods. Like, why wasn't Kofi there? I understand he's preparing for his match, but anyways, Randy just beats Woods. I would have liked to have seen Woods win this match. I would have liked to have seen Kofi win his match, you know? But, of course, Randy and Riddle are in some sort of feud with the New Day, and that'll continue probably next week. Kofi now out of the title picture. He just goes back to teaming with Woods and facing Riddle and Randy. The match was good, though, between Woods and Orton. I liked it. I thought it was a solid match. Randy getting the win. I mean, what do you expect? But getting the win with Riddle's finisher, it's kind of like... it's almost disrespectful to Woods. Like, Randy doesn't need to use his own finisher. He doesn't need to hit him with the RKO to beat him. He could just hit him with, like, Riddle's finisher that Randy doesn't even do that well, you know? It was a little disappointing. I want to see big things for Woods. To me, Woods is everything you'd want. He can talk. He's got the YouTube channel that's very successful. He's got a PhD. He looks great. He's in top shape. His matches are great. I mean, he's a total package. And, you know, he's the third guy in the New Day, right? He's so much more than that, but the WWE only gives him that. It's disappointing. Kofi's so much more than a great tag team guy, but that's all they seem to want to give him. I really thought they'd somehow insert Kofi into this match at Hell in a Cell. I couldn't fathom that they would do Drew versus Bobby again, one-on-one. No one really believed that that would happen, and yet, here we are, right? This is classic WWE. This is what they are in a nutshell. Everybody's going into this match saying, well, there's no way Drew's just going to win and we do Drew versus Bobby again, right? Because that would be terrible. That would be so awful. And then what do? They do exactly that. God damn, WWE, get your shit together. Ugh. God damn, pal. It is shocking how bad their booking is. They can't put shit together. They don't realize how much people think it sucks, I think. They either don't know or don't care. I haven't figured it out, but it is awful. Bobby Lashley and MVP had their suite tonight, and we kind of saw a couple promos from them. They just have a bunch of scantily clad ladies. It's like the Ho Train, basically. I don't know what's going on. There's a bunch of ladies, and at one point during the main event, Bobby and MVP are in their private suite or whatever, and they're watching the main event very intensely. Bobby and MVP are standing there very intensely, and all the ladies around Bobby and MVP are just kind of dancing around. There seems to be no music being played. It's very awkward. Why are they just dancing? They don't get to stand and just watch the match. They all have to be dancing while Bobby and MVP just stand there watching a wrestling match. It's weird. The Bobby Lashley gimmick right now, him and MVP just surrounded by sexy muscle friends. And not the tag team, but just, seem like they could be members of the tag team if they wanted to be. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know what's going on there. It's a strange gimmick. He's a champion who does orgies, I think. Him and MVP do orgies with these ladies. I can't really understand what else they're trying to make us believe. It seems to be some of the same ladies that they were there with them last week. I don't know who they are, but they are Bobby and MVP's friends. And I figure storyline-wise, we're supposed to believe that they're having sex with all the ladies, right? After Raw's over, they're drinking, they're having fun. No? It's a weird gimmick. Speaking of weird, here's more weird shit that happened on Raw. Reginald beat Shayna Baszler. He rolled her up. Shayna had Reginald, was going to set him up for her rear naked choke thing, the Cojita clutch or whatever she calls it. Carafu, I don't know. It's a rear naked choke type deal. And she's about to hook Reggie into it. And then in the corner of the ring, a cane fireball comes out. Cane pyro out of the ring corner that Shayna's in. And this distracts Shayna, of course. And Reginald rolls her up 1, 2, 3. And the announcers are just oh, yeah, fire. That happens sometimes. They don't act what the hell? They're just oh, that was crazy. How about it? Just like how somebody hit a top rope drop kick or something. And we're whoa. Why is there fire going off? Of course, it's Alexa Bliss because she doesn't like Shayna for some reason. Or Lily the doll doesn't like Shayna. Nia Jax was really happy celebrating with Reginald in Gorilla, so I guess the Nia Shayna thing is over. Because Nia was super pumped that Reginald won. Alexa Bliss did a backstage segment, another one of her creepy promo deals in that backstage ring, and Reginald was there as her guest. And Shayna showed up and beat up Reginald. And then Shayna got in Alexa's face, and she's you're becoming a problem. And you've now seen how I deal with my problems. I just beat up Reginald over there. So next week, you and I are going to have a chat. And I was wait a second. You're talking to her right now. Why don't you just do the chat now, Shayna? And why is it a chat next week? Why don't you have a match with her next week? Why don't you say, hey, I know you're doing all this pyro stuff, trying to screw me out of matches. You got some sort of magic voodoo thing going on. Next week, I'm going to beat you up, and I'm going to beat that voodoo out of you. But no, next week she wants to have a chat, which I can't imagine what that's going to be. Like, that's going to be terrible. Some sort of Shayna, Alexa Bliss chat set for Raw next week. And then Shayna kneels down and talks to the doll. Alexa's doll, Lily, that Alexa can hear speaking to her, telling her to do evil deeds. And Shayna gets down to one knee and tells the doll, "You're just a stupid little doll." So why are you talking to the doll? If you knew somebody that was doing magic on you, I mean, even then, right? That's a stretch. If somebody was doing magic on me, I'd be pissed. I would just kick them in the face. I'd be like, "Hey, there's no such thing as magic. You're doing some sort of illusionary on me, some sort of David Copperfield, Chris Angel mind freak bullshit. I'm just going to kick your ass, and then we're going to be done with it." How come Shayna didn't do that? That's a realistic approach to what the hell has been happening to her. But no, she's like, "You're just a stupid doll. Alexa, you and I are going to talk next week." What? Take the doll, rip its head off, throw it in Alexa's face, smack Alexa in the face, kick her in the face, pick her up, slam her, and then choke her unconscious. That's what you should do, Shayna. That's what would make sense. You don't talk to the doll and tell the doll, "You're just a doll." Who talks to a doll and tells them that they're just a doll? Pick up a toy. "You're just a toy. You're not a real thing. This isn't Toy Story. I know reality and fiction. You're an inanimate fucking object." It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Douglas Hepburn says Shayna for champ. She's a long way away from that. She's in this mess of a feud with Alexa. Jason Pete says the only good gimmick was Al Snow with the head. I mean, that was a pretty good gimmick. What does everybody want? Doug Hepburn says he bought Nick a real good Chucky doll. Freaks him out. Yeah, Chucky's scary. Chucky is freaky. Bob Burgers. Shout out Bob Burgers. I'll show you something, Bob Burgers. You probably appreciate this because your name is Bob Burgers. Look at that shit, Bob Burgers. You like that? You like that, Bob Burgers? This is the whole Bob's Burgers complete set. I have the complete set of these little Bob's Burgers figures. And the people at Walmart, I bought a few of them. People at Walmart let me take the box. And there was a little alien guy in the box, so now I got all of them. Shout out to Bob Burgers, loyal viewer of the show, loyal commenter. I love Bob's Burgers. I think it's a great show. And these little characters are fun to collect. And I got the whole display box here. Shout out to Bob Burgers. Shout out to the show, Bob's Burgers. Fantastic show. Way better than Raw lately, let me tell you. I'd rather be watching Gene and Louise up to no good over Alexa Bliss and Shayna and a fucking talking doll. You know what I mean? Bob's Burgers. Tremendous show. What else happened on Raw tonight? The Sexy Muscle Friends beat Naomi and Lana. Pretty awkward match. Pretty awkward finishing double team move that Sexy Muscle Friends hit on Lana to win. And Natty and Tamina were on commentary, and it seemed like they were teasing Sexy Muscle Friends versus Natty and Tamina for the tag team titles. So that's something that's happening. That match was not good at all. Cedric Alexander beat Shelton Benjamin via pinfall after a thumb to the eye. The match was about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Not much of a match. He thumbed him in the eye. He rolled him up. That's about it. Mace and T-Bar beat Lucha House Party. Mace and T-Bar are a thing now. They don't have masks. They're back. They cut a very like old school monster style promo on the house party, I guess, before the match. I couldn't really tell who they were talking about. They were like, that's pretty much what it sounded like to me. It was not very good. And then they beat the Lucha House Party, and that was kind of disappointing because I like the Lucha House Party. And I don't really like Mace and T-Bar. Not good. Ricochet beat Sheamus. It's pretty cool. Sheamus is the U.S. champion. It was a non-title match. Sheamus seems to be feuding with Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo at this time. Ricochet winds up beating Sheamus because Humberto Carrillo's music hit and Humberto came down to the ring and Sheamus got distracted and Ricochet rolled him up, which led to Humberto Carrillo versus Sheamus, which was an excellent match where Sheamus broke his nose. Sheamus got his nose busted by Humberto Carrillo landing a heavy forearm right to Sheamus's face. It was nasty. Sheamus was a bloody mess. His nose was busted. I think it was broken. And Humberto beats Sheamus after a distraction from Ricochet, who was outside watching the match. Humberto rolls up Sheamus 1, 2, 3. But good match and nasty forearm. Sheamus, again, I've said this before about Sheamus. He will hit you hard, but he doesn't mind if you hit him hard as well. His matches are intense, they are violent, and that's why he's one of the best guys on Raw. I always like watching Sheamus work. He is fantastic. He is really in his prime right now. He might not, I don't know if he's ever been better than he is right now. He is great. Every week I watch Sheamus and I love it. Big, nasty, violent dude. Doug Hepburn likes my collections. I've got a lot of collections. I collect a lot of different things. Check my Instagram for more. I bought giant Skittles. You guys ever seen this? I went to a specialty snack store today and I got giant Skittles. They're Skittles the size of like an M&M peanut, you know? Check my Instagram for that, at Dave Simon MMA. Picture of giant Skittles. I also bought Skittles gummies. Never seen that shit before. I hope they're good. Jason Pete says Sheamus was always an awesome wrestler. Yeah. Sheamus is great. Yeah, the big boot, the brogue kick that he does. It's a great finisher. He's hard-hitting. He's awesome. I love Sheamus. AJ Styles and Omas beat Jackson Riker and Elias to retain the Raw Tag Team titles. AJ hit the phenomenal forearm on Riker to get the win. Riker went to tag Elias, and Elias just bailed on the match. I guess Riker and Elias weren't really getting along. Riker was kind of distant to Elias, and Elias took that as a sign. He's like, I don't want to be with Riker anymore, so he just walked away from the match, and at that point you knew it was over. Strange that Elias chooses this moment when he could be tag team champion to walk away from his partner Jackson Riker. But he said in a promo later, we're going back to touring, and I couldn't bear sitting in a car with this guy going from town to town, so our partnership had to end because I really don't like him and I don't want to spend more time with him. It's a strange reason for a tag team to break up. I never heard that one before. Yeah, it was working when we were, during the pandemic. We come to the shows and then we go home, but now we're going to be doing more shows. We're going to be paired together. We're going to probably have to ride from town to town together. I don't want to be around this guy. I don't want to be associated with this Jackson Riker. So we got to break up. That was the promo. It was very weird. And I don't care about the alliance of Jackson Riker and Elias breaking up. Like, who cares, right? They don't matter. And it was Jimmy Smith's first night on commentary tonight. Jimmy Smith? Is that his name? Jimmy Smith. Yeah, Jimmy Smith. Former UFC and Bellator commentator. He took over from Adnan Virk And he was a new Raw play-by-play guy. And, the first hour was kind of rough, but I tell you, by the third hour, I was really enjoying it. I thought he was good. He was getting in there. He understands combat sports. The guy has fought in MMA before. He's actually 5-1 as a pro. The guy knows what he's talking about. He can fight. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like, Jimmy Smith is a legitimate guy. And he seemed to do a lot of studying. He knew moves. Like, Kofi hit the SOS, and he was right there. I think he said SOS, like he knew what the move was. He was pretty good. I liked Jimmy Smith tonight. I thought he did a hell of a job. I was skeptical because he's mostly been a color commentator for MMA, so I was wondering, how would that transition go to be a play-by-play guy for pro wrestling? It's a totally different thing, and I know that he hasn't been a big pro wrestling fan in the past, but he was good tonight. I thought he was solid. Little rocky at first, but I thought he hit his stride. I thought he got warmed up and got pretty good. So I liked it. I thought he did good work. He's legitimate, It's more like Adnan Virk didn't really have any basis. He wasn't a wrestling fan. He didn't really understand combat. So when he's going into it, he doesn't really understand what's going on in the ring. But Jimmy Smith has a much better understanding. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he's going to stick around. I like it. Jason Pete says he's a less annoying Joe Rogan. I kind of felt like he was like the poor man's Joe Rogan. He's like the backup. He was like the Bellator Rogan, right? Like Bellator had, like UFC had their bald guy, color commentator, who's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, who knows what he's talking about. And then Bellator was like, yeah, we got one too. It's Jimmy Smith. The UFC has Joe Rogan, and then Bellator had Jimmy Smith. That's how I kind of always thought of Jimmy Smith, as like the bootleg Joe Rogan. But he's more than that. They're different. They're different guys. But that's kind of how I thought of him. Because when I first heard of him, he was doing the Joe Rogan job for Bellator. And it was like, oh, he's bald. He's kind of got the Joe Rogan build. He's kind of got a similar background. I'm like, oh. This is like the Bellator version of Joe Rogan. And then he went to the UFC, and it didn't last long. I don't know why. Mako says Dave has big Skittles. You're damn right, Mako. Giant Skittles. Giant. Angela says those Skittles are huge, Dave. Yes, they are. They are giant Skittles. You can see them on my Instagram at Dave Simon MMA. Douglas Hepburn says, Dave ever talked to Jay Baruchel? Baruchel? Is that his? Oh, right. Okay. I know who you're talking about, but I don't think I've ever talked to him. No. Why would I? I got no reason to. Bob Cote says, imagine Sheamus and Fit Finlay as a tag team in their prime. That would be crazy. That would be crazy, Sheamus and Finlay. Just a match, Sheamus versus Finlay, one-on-one, like Finlay in his prime. That would have been badass. Fit Finlay was a hell of a wrestler. I love Fit Finlay. Big fan. When he was in WCW, goddamn, I loved watching his matches. That's when I first started, when I first really heard about Fit Finlay, was when he was in WCW. He was so damn good. Great stuff in WWE, too, but his WCW work was ridiculous. Big fan. Jason Pete says, just find Joe Rogan too biased at times. Yeah, with MMA, Joe Rogan's definitely got his favorites. And we've got our favorites, too. You want to talk about bias? Check out my man, AJ. I'm going to be back here Thursday night with AJ and Freddie. AJ, super biased. And he'll be back with me Thursday night, 8 p.m. We're going to be previewing the Augusto Sakai Jairzinho Rosenstrike fight coming up on Saturday night for the UFC. UFC back in action on Saturday. There was no UFC this past Saturday, and I really didn't know what to do with myself. I will be honest. I was like, what the hell? Anytime there's no UFC on a Saturday, I'm like, what are we supposed to do here? The next Saturday where there's no UFC, though, is going to be the 3rd of July. So the next 4 weeks there's going to be UFC events, and I'm pretty pumped about that. It's going to be UFC Sakai versus Jairzinho coming up Saturday. Week after that, it's UFC 263, Vettori versus Adesanya. Week after that, we got Korean Zombie versus Dan Ige. Week after that, you got Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov. And then we got a week off on July 3rd. And then July 10th, I'm pretty sure it's the Conor fight. Conor Poirier 3. Right? UFC 264. I'm going to confirm that for you because, goddamn, yes. July 10th, T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. Poirier versus McGregor. Holy shit. Third time's a charm. Let's see it. That's going to be big. I'm pretty pumped about that. All right, guys. Shout out to all the members. Don't forget to become a member of the channel. I'm going to give a shout out to some members right now. All right? Hit us up on Super Chat at any time. Become a member of the channel. You can buy merch over at merch.ringsidereport.net. We got these cool cups. You could buy a cup just like this over at merch.ringsidereport.net. We got new hats. Doug Hepburn is a member of the channel. He won a hat on our last UFC pay-per-view watch-along. We'll be doing another giveaway. Super chat. Thank you, Doug. Shout out to Doug. We'll do another giveaway on the next UFC pay-per-view watch-along. We'll try to do those consistently. Doug Hepburn says, thanks, Dave. Great show. You are good at what you do. Thanks, Doug. Become members, people. Go Habs, go. There you go. Solid message from Doug. Appreciate you, man. Doug, big Habs fan. I know he's happy tonight out in Kingston, Ontario. Appreciate you, Doug. Doug is a member and has been for quite some time. Super what? Oh, Angelo. Uh-oh. Angelo comes through, and he is now the Super Chat leader. Good luck to the Jets, Patrick. Yes, good luck to the Jets. Patrick C. Hamilton, always a good friend of the show. Big Winnipeg Jets fan. Angelo, big Habs fan. Douglas, big Habs fan. It's going to be a battle, I'm sure, coming up. Who's the betting favorite in that series? The Jets, I'm guessing? Because the Canadians weren't supposed to make it this far. But now that they have, maybe they're favored in the next one? How does that go? Let's see. Does Bet99 have the odds yet for the next NHL series? Maybe not. Go to bet99.com. Bet with us. Oh, they do have it. Bet with us over at bet99.com. Use that promo code ringside when you do. And Bet99 will give you a matching deposit bonus of up to $600 on your initial deposit using that promo code ringside. They will match your initial deposit up to $600 using that promo code ringside over at bet99.com, where you can bet on the Montreal Canadiens at plus 101, slight underdogs to the Winnipeg Jets in the series. Jets minus 118, the favorites. Winnipeg is favored to win, but the Maple Leafs are favored to win too, and they lost, right? Shout out to the members. Shout out to Patrick C. Hamilton, Jason Pete, Doug Hepburn, Angelo, Contagonis, Derek John, Leor S., Craig Paquette, Rob Cluse, Antoinette out in Toronto. Sorry about the Leafs, Antoinette. There's always next year. You got the Blue Jays. You know. Keep your head up, Antoinette. I feel for you. Harold Schneider. Sasha Lagarde. Shout out to the members. We appreciate you. You keep this channel running. Yeah, the Jets are the favorites. And Canadians are slight underdogs. I think I'm going to bet with... I think I'm going to bet on the Habs to win. Why not? Why not? Put some money on the Habs or the underdogs. I don't know anything about hockey. Are the Jets really good? Maybe I won't bet on it because I don't know anything about it. I'm going to bet on the Augusto Sakai-Jairzinho fight on Saturday. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with Jairzinho. Jairzinho's a bad motherfucker. What's the odds? Oh, minus 125. Jairzinho's the favorite. Sakai plus 102. Jairzinho's not a huge favorite. I like Jairzinho big time in that fight. Big time Jairzinho. Big time. All right, we'll get to the MMA Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Every Thursday night, we break down everything in the UFC and beyond. And I think we'll try and do a watch-along of a fight next Thursday night on Ringside Report MMA on the 10th of June. Olivier Aubin is going to be fighting for PFL against Marcin Held. So we'll try and watch that live with you. Hometown guy Olivier Aubin, friend of the show, has got a big fight for PFL. PFL 4 coming up. Lots of MMA coming up in June. PFL has 2 events. Bellator has 2 events. UFC has 4 events. It's a jam-packed month for mixed martial arts in June, and I'm pretty pumped about a lot of these fights. A lot of really good fights. A lot of really good fighters. A lot of friends of the show fighting as well. Cyril Gann is fighting this month. Olivier Aubin is fighting this month. Rory McDonald is fighting this month, A lot of Canadian talent fighting this month. So we definitely have our eye on a lot of fights. Rory McDonald versus Gleason Tebow, June 17th. God damn. I know this is a pro wrestling show, guys, but I'm pumped about these fights coming up. WWE Hell in a Cell, June 20th. If it was Kofi, maybe, but it's Drew and Bobby. Derek John says Jets are pretty good. But Doug Hepburn says carry. He's pretty good too, right? I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know, guys. All right, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dave Simon MMA. Go check out how giant my Skittles are at Dave Simon MMA on Instagram. You can check out all the cool toys that I buy. I got a very nice $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and a Tatanka, and a Nikolai Volkov, and an Undertaker. They were all part of a series. Super nice wrestling toys. I buy a lot of wrestling toys, and they are nice. And that's it. You can follow me on Instagram for more of that. I'll be back here on the Ringside Report Network Thursday night, 8 p.m. We'd usually be on after Dynamite on Wednesday, but Dynamite's on Friday night this week. So we will watch Dynamite with you Friday night, 10 p.m. when Dynamite starts Friday night. SmackDown will have ended, so we will recap SmackDown Friday night for Wrestling Uncensored, and we will watch AEW Dynamite live. It'll be a SmackDown recap and AEW Dynamite watch-along all at the same time coming up Friday night, myself and Johnny North. So nothing Wednesday, but we're back Thursday for MMA, Friday for more pro wrestling at 10 p.m. Eastern. And then we will be doing a watch-along for the Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul boxing match. Just that fight. I'm not watching the undercard. I'm not doing a watch-along for the undercard. Forget that shit. I don't care about that. I want to see Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. I want to see what the hell that is. And we'll watch that fight with you. We'll do you a live, round by round kind of breakdown of what's going on. Sunday night. This coming Sunday, June 6th, Mayweather versus Logan Paul here on the Ringside Report Network. We are always busy, always here with you. thanks to the members. Thank you to Angelo and Doug. Angelo, once again, the Super Chat leader, Super Chat champion. Angelo Catagonis. Go Habs. Thank you, guys. Glad they won. And we will talk to you again very soon. Bye.